What do, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video, I was out delivering some equipment this morning and I came across something that was totally out of the blue, and we're gonna go ahead and go pick this thing up. Hope you guys enjoy it. We're gonna have a bunch of other stuff in the video. Jumping in the Denali real quick, we're gonna go ahead and run down the street. It's really not that far from where we're at. My brother's gonna meet me down there, help me get it loaded in the back of the truck. Got my helper with me. Hi. And hopefully we can score this dirt bike. I'm super excited. It's an old Yamaha. Oh, better put my seatbelt on. All right, safety first. So it's an old Yamaha air-cooled two-stroke. I don't know if it's a 125 or a 250. I don't know the first thing about it other than it's super old, it's super cheap, and hopefully we can have a lot of fun with it. All right, there it is, that beautiful gem. Maybe this thing will be for sale too.
I hope it is.
What do you think about this gem?
Nice.
Think it's worth 15 bucks? Just needs a little bit of gas tank work.
Oh my gosh. The gas tank's only 15.
Yeah. It comes with a Team Yamaha fender.
Oh, never mind.
No air in the tires. No disc brakes anywhere. Those weren't invented yet. It's like John 68 El Camino.
Gee, this thing is old.
Yeah, how old is this thing?
50 years old?
Oh, maybe.
Probably.
Needs a little bit of air filter work. I think I'm gonna take it. All right, John's gonna be the first one to sit on it. Let's flip this seat around.
Gross.
Yeah. This is how John's gonna get back and forth to work now.
Dude.
All right, let's load it up.
Here you go, kiddo.
Thanks.
It doesn't roll very well.
Yeah, that's because it might be 50 years old. We might need to work on those a little bit.
Yep.
Does it not roll at all?
No, it doesn't roll.
Be careful with that old gem of yours.
Hold on, the oil. Man, your shoe right today.
I was just in the motion. I had to keep going or I'd break my back. Hey, it's
Like a glove. So this thing probably has like one of the raddest suspensions I've seen ever. Look at where they got this coil over. It's like right underneath the gas tank.
Oh, wow.
This thing's pretty janky, but I'm digging it. So I guess this about wraps up this part of the video. We're gonna take it back to the shop, see if we can even get that back wheel to unlock, because it did not want to move at all. Almost forgot this. Well, I guess everything's for sale. We're gonna pick up this sweet go-kart. Well, that ended up being a super cool trip. We ended up getting 2 pieces of junk instead of 1. All right, so we just got back. Wins all around today. I'm super pumped. This has a 10 horsepower motor. We'll get a little bit more in-depth look at this thing. It's missing the carburetor. Tell that it we were told that the brakes did not work, and there's obviously a very good reason why. Got some popcorn welds going on down here. Well, those are bad. They might be the worst welds I've ever seen. What? Look at these things.
Oh boy.
Is that bent?
Yep.
Definitely
Remember
bent.
she said they rolled it?
Yeah. This one's good though, kind of, I think. How do you bend that? It's probably why the brakes don't work. At one point it did have lights up there. So this thing needs a little bit of TLC, but I think the price was right. I think the kids are gonna love this thing. And us. This thing may end up getting jumped into a big old pond at some point. So before we get this stuff unloaded, we gotta do some actual work real quick, and then we'll jump back into this. be right back. I got to
Later, crackhead.
All right, now that we're done with our work for today, we're gonna go ahead and unload our glorious haul, this sweet dirt bike, and then the go-kart that's in the back of John's truck. Dude, how are we gonna get this thing to move? Because it's like it's not budging.
What if we try down there with the pry bar and up here at the same time?
Huh. Let's see. I don't even know if I can get it. All right. Okay. I think it's it.
Go.
Here we go. Oh, I slipped. Come on. All right.
Go.
Okay, we're good now. Let's get this.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Oh, it moved.
Oh,
Yeah.
back the other way.
All right, we got a couple good spins in there. We're gonna go ahead and keep trying it with just one wrench now. All right, well, we finally got the steering to loosen up. It actually turns now. So we got steering, still no brakes, but those aren't important. So I do have a Harbor Freight crate engine sitting on the other side over there that I'm gonna go grab. And I'm gonna yank this thing out. I do wanna keep this engine because this one's 10 horsepower and the Harbor Freight one was what, like
6.5?
6. So it'll be good for my kids to learn. But once I get the 10 horsepower one like up and working and everything good, we'll go ahead and put it back in so we can have a little bit more powerful go-kart. It'll mount up, no problem. I know they sell like big V-twin ones of these.
You can get a diesel.
From Harbor Freight?
Put like a little bit. I don't know if Harbor Freight sells them, but you can get little diesels like this.
We should see what the biggest Harbor Freight engine. But for tonight, this will work. So we have no clue what we're doing. We're just gonna start taking stuff apart. Take the cover off. Uh-oh.
There's a throttle.
Spring just went flying. Not important.
There's a throttle clip.
This one's got to get replaced anyways. I wonder if King makes
I think they probably do.
like go-kart shocks.
Because you see them on like side-by-sides.
Yeah, but this is not a side-by-side.
They'll do custom shocks.
Yeah.
You just give them the measurements, I think, and they'll make them. I think. So King, if you're watching,
Coach you on that? You guys don't sponsor us?
you can send us some free shocks.
I'm like 95% sure that this battery is...
Gonna hold the charge?
Oh yeah, for sure. But we're gonna take it out, put a charge on it anyways, or put a charger on it, and see if it'll hold the charge. All right, so we got the old motor out. We gotta take the centrifugal clutch off, and hopefully it fits on the old Predator. All right, well, we just came to a very sad ending for the day. We were all excited we were gonna put this little Predator engine in here that I had it sitting around forever. But the output shaft right here is too small for the centrifugal clutch, and this one has a much larger diameter shaft, so it's not going to work. So we can either A, fix this one, or B, look for a bigger engine.
Does Harbor Freight make a bigger engine?
I don't know.
If you're watching.
Harbor Freight. But we're not sure. Today was still super cool though. We scored that sweet old dirt bike. Got an old go-kart that my kids are going to love once it's done. So we made some good progress on it. It's gonna need new shocks. We got the steering going. And then sad story today. I'm not kidding when I say this is my favorite tool. This thing right here is either gonna A, take some serious
You can rethread it.
figuring out to make it work, because so the hose just decided when we were trying to get some grease in that fitting back there, this thing just went boom and shot out. And it yanks the threads right out of this thing. So I got to figure something out with this. So I'm going to wrap it up on this. I am going to do some welding on my differential real quick, and then that top piece will be like done. All right, so it's always better to like know 100% what you're going to be doing before you start welding, because I was like, oh, I'll just do these little sides right here, little stitch welds, and then later on I decided, no, I want to do like a full weld all the way around it. And so half of it just looks really bad. I'll show you guys right now. All right, so you guys have good weld, good weld, good weld. This is where I tried to blend in, looks bad. Not as bad, but still not good. And then good weld again. I'm actually kind of really nervous right now. We had one of our dairy bulls get out into the 500 with our other bull, and so I am racing back home right now. You guys, this is the 500 over here. I'm racing back home right now to try and get this resolved, because if our two bulls come across each other, bulls do not like each other. They need to be kept separate at all times. So I misunderstood a little bit what was actually going on. I'm not sure how this happened, because typically the Angus bull is not in this pasture right here. He's with the other cows, and he goes out in the back 500. And then we have our bull that hangs out with all the dairy cows. He's supposed to be in here. He's got horns. He's a different type. So we'll go ahead and get that resolved this afternoon once we get a couple more hands out here, because anytime you're working with the bulls, you know, the more hands the better, because sometimes they tend to get not so friendly. We're going to be doing a head-to-head. You guys remember that I bought that Ryobi chainsaw last week, and I actually really like it. So after my brother got done playing with it, he decided that he wanted to go to Home Depot and pick up one of these.
A real one. See, it's got metal felling spikes.
Oh. So there definitely are some pros to the Milwaukee. We're gonna go ahead and put them next to each other so you guys can check out the differences. All right, so I don't have any like 5 amp hour Milwaukee batteries. The closest thing that we have is the new 6.0s that John bought, because the 40 volt ones that came with this guy, they're a 5 amp hour. So I'm not sure what the difference is gonna be between the 18 volt and the 40 volt and 1 amp hour difference, but the batteries are
similar in size.
They're similar in size. So we're trying to make it as even as possible. All right, John's about to earn his cowboy boots. The original reason we came home, because the bull got into the 500, actually just happened. To get crazy around here. The biggest thing when you guys are trying to separate cows, you always got to have food. That's like one of the only things that can distract them is good food. So we're gonna grab a couple flakes of hay and then go try and get these bulls to follow us, and so we can get them separated. I just need a couple flakes. I don't need a whole bale.
Put up for low.
Hey, what's up, butthead?
Dude, how'd that bull even get out?
I don't know. See this? He ain't happy. Hey, butthead. Get out of the car. Come on.
How'd this happen?
Dude, someone opened this last night.
Someone came through?
There's the cows would not push this open this far.
Yeah, that's kind of... They would open it just enough to get through.
Yeah, dude, someone was straight here last night.
You don't want to close it?
Oh, I do, but...
Is that one always open?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about to charge you. I need to get a chain with a lock.
Dude, what the heck? I'm kind of upset right now. Whoa!
You having trouble there?
Guys, I'm getting
Let's
fat.
go skinny. I'll get the cow out here to push you through.
Oh. Okay, I need to go on some serious weight loss. I used to be able to fit through those like easy.
That's like what? 2 feet? 2 foot gap?
My chi-chis. Where'd that hay go? All right, well, since we got that major crisis averted, well, pretty much my wife got it averted. She's awesome. But this is the bull. He's a big boy. So he's pretty chill, luckily. The other bull, you guys saw him kind of mad dogging me. He's not so nice. If this guy would have been like a mean bull, we probably would have had a serious problem on our hands. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump back into the main focus on this video, which is the review of these chainsaws. We have a whole slew of them to pick from. You guys saw this one running. I mean, gas-powered ones, you guys know about them. They work great, as long as you can keep them clean and tuned up. So as far as the electric guys, the Ryobi and the Milwaukee, those are probably the two biggest competitors, I think.
Well, DeWalt's got one. I don't know, they feel about the same. I guess we can look it up.
Okay. Which one feels better holding it?
That one's pretty good. This handle feels bigger.
Yeah.
Just to push it instead of...
Are you pushing it or are you pulling it?
Pushing. I'm talking about the lock.
Oh, the lock button.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So that's what I'm talking about. Because this one you gotta slide it down.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, so if you got a smaller hand, that might be a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So is the Milwaukee like a GLOCK? If you accidentally drop it, will it will it start spinning?
Probably not. My GLOCK's never done that.
I'm just playing.
But I don't drop it either.
All right, so the Milwaukee, we don't know what these are called. My brother thinks they're called felling spikes. The Milwaukee has
felling guard, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not chainsaw guys. Has like actual metal cleats or spikes or whatever they're called. This one is just kind of like plastic.
My battery's more protected.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if that makes a huge difference.
In case an oak tree falls on your...
In case your kids drop it, you know, it's exposed. My kids are too scared to touch this stuff.
My kids never break my tools, ever. Actually, it's probably like once a week. No? What's that?
This is my case. So that's what the Ryobi's got. The saw beat on is it's got a nice carrying case. I got
a guard?
A bar guard.
See, that was like one of the big selling points for me. Is here's the big Ryobi case. If you guys know from videos past, I love my cases. I definitely think the Ryobi batteries do look a little bit cooler.
More futuristic.
Yeah,
pull out. All right. Yeah, there's that click.
Loaded. So here's the question for the video. Was that a fake or real incident? Was I really taking a nap while the battery was charging, or was that staged? The winner gets a prize. Unsheath your weapon.
Oh, turned on.
All right, let me get my timer out.
Get muddy mascot.
Yeah, even the dogs get muddy out here.
Totally. But they do like water.
Yep. Okay, this is the one for the gold. Ready? Go. .97 seconds.
That's pretty fast.
All right, let's do the gasser. All right, we're gonna do one last run because the log's getting a lot thicker on after this next cut. So
I'm gonna go skinny.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I was a little bit slow on hitting stop, but I think that one was actually about the same as the Ryobi.
I had better form that time.
Good form, good form. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this part of the video. We got to do some service on my dump truck. It's been a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and let John tell you what he thinks about the saws, and then I'll give you my...
I gotta comb my hair.
Oh yeah.
We're selling new manly combs as well. Soon to come.
Yeah. Hit us up on Etsy, or is that where you sell crafty stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So if you got Milwaukee batteries and you don't want to introduce more of a mess with other batteries, go with this. I think it performs pretty much the same, but if you are starting fresh, no batteries or anything, $329.
Yeah, that's
right.
What it was, yeah.
So that's with a battery charger case. That battery, 2 of them was $220.
Eesh.
And that didn't come with a charger. I already had a charger, so you're gonna have to buy a charger on top of that. So if you already set up with Milwaukee, go with Milwaukee. if you're not set up with anything, I'd probably go with that.
Nice. I'm gonna give you guys my 2 cents real quick. I think the Milwaukee saw was super good. It definitely does feel a little bit tougher than the Ryobi one. Now obviously I have Milwaukee batteries, so buying this was kind of like a whim. But you guys all know that it has a case. I love cases. And I think as far as like actual speed goes, I think the Ryobi was just a little bit quicker. And I don't know if that's because of the 40 volt or the 18-inch bar versus the 16-inch bar. I don't know. But this did cut just a tiny bit quicker. So bang for buck, if you're like fresh into the industry, I'd go with Ryobi. But I do like Milwaukee tools a lot. So it's up to you guys. But we're going to go ahead and jump into this next part of the video. All right, so we got the big girl pulled in here. It's kind of hard for me to find time to do the maintenance on these things, but it's something you got to stay on top of. I try to do the best I can with like the Cummins Fleet Guard stuff. I have found that it's easier to buy them in bulk, and then you just keep them stored up, so that way when you guys hit those intervals, you don't have to run to the store or the parts house to go grab them. You just have them on hand, then you go ahead and change them out. So I'm going to go ahead and start draining the oil in this thing. We got like a huge catch pen down there. These things hold a ton of oil, I mean a lot. So you need a big catch pan, and then I got all the oil in 5-gallon drums over there that we will put into this thing once we're done. And get ready for 11 gallons of oil. So depending on how much of a rush you guys are in, you guys can like wait for all the oil to come out, or you can put a plug in it right now and it probably won't make a huge difference. But since I'm in no rush, I just wait for it to completely stop draining. Then I'll put the plug back in. There's some guys that are like super hardcore that'll pour in like new oil and flush out the old oil until it kind of looks like new. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but I know there's some guys out there that take really good care of their trucks. So teach their own. So typically while I'm waiting for the oil to drip out, I'll go ahead and change the fuel filter. This one's still in pretty good shape, but really a fuel filter is so cheap and they help you get better fuel mileage so easily that I think they're worth it to change it pretty often. So it's just one of those things that I try to super stay on top of just to help save a couple bucks. Because really if it helps you get like 0.02 miles per gallon extra in these things, it's going to pay for itself like almost instantly. So I've always just tightened this thing by hand. I've never had it leak, but I'm not going to say that if you guys tighten it by hand that it won't leak. So that's my disclaimer. All right, so I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I've lived out here for 8 years, and until now, I have taken either my little dump truck or my trash trailer to the dump to get rid of our trash. I just would do it once a month, every 5 weeks, however long it took. And it finally took us just actually calling and asking our neighbors how much they paid for their trash service. And I should have done this forever ago. I wish my son was here because he loves this kind of stuff. Are you kidding me? It's that cheap? So anyhow, I'm gonna show you guys this real quick. They even drive beautiful. So that was totally worth it. I don't know why I didn't do this forever ago. Anyhow, I was gonna head back to the shop and get this oil change finished. All right, so I got the filter back on. The oil's definitely done draining because I just had a buddy come over and we kind of shot the breeze for like 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the plug in and then we'll get it filled back up with oil, get it turned over, get it started, and then we're pretty much done with our service other than washing it and greasing it, but I don't think you guys wanna watch that. So I'm pretty sure this pump will like shut off after it reaches like a certain pressure or after a certain amount of time of actually not starting the engine. Either way, once it shuts off, then I'll go ahead and try and start the truck. All right, the pump just shut off. Let's go ahead and give it another go. All right, give it another go. That was the second time that it shut off. So I was gonna rotate these tires, but my plans got changed up a little bit tomorrow, and this truck's actually going out, and I'm gonna be taking the 299 with me. But the reason I was gonna rotate them is because if you guys notice, this tire right here is a little bit more worn out than this one, because this is the axle that's live full time. This is the one that moves the truck until you get in rough terrain and you lock the diffs, and then this one becomes live too. So I'll show you guys those switches real quick. So these are the switches that lock the diffs. This one just locks the rear diff, so it becomes like posi track. But if you are like in super rough terrain, you flip both of those and it makes both axles live. You guys would be surprised at how many trucks do not have that. But in California, I think it's here a must because we do a lot of like in the hills, back roads type trucking, at least in the San Diego area. So before I wrap up this video, this is my 299. This is like the beast of beasts as far as compact track loaders go. Caterpillar super outdid themselves when they built this machine. This thing is just a workhorse. Unbelievable how much dirt this thing can push. But regardless, anytime I have like a job where I got to do like a lot of compaction, a lot of mixing of dirt, anything of that, this undercarriage right here really suffers. Gets a lot of mud, gets a lot of dirt packed in there, and that's just the way it is. So especially right now with it being so dry, you have to do a lot of mixing to get that dirt to like a good moisture level so you can get good compaction. And what happens when you do that is like a lot of dirt and mud makes its way up into the undercarriage right here, and it really kind of suffers a little bit. The mud gets packed up in here and it rubs on the hoses, rubs holes in them, and then you bust a hydraulic hose. But it's really good if you can hose this off at the end of the day, because I'm going to show you guys why. So this tractor has like a torsion bar setup, and you got these two bolts that hold this plate on. You guys can see that this one is missing one, and before I started this job, that bolt was in there. So stuff like that happens. It's not a big deal. Stick another bolt in, tighten it down, and you'll be good to go. If both bolts would have come out, then you might have had a couple more problems. But that's just why it's a good idea to go ahead and like hose this thing off at the end of every day. It just makes it a little bit easier, because once that dirt dries, it's so hard. It takes so much longer to wash it off. And then you got a clean tractor and they look way better. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the screws this video. And guys, I'm just letting you know, if I play my cards right tomorrow, I just might make probably the coolest video that I've ever made yet. We went on a job walk yesterday where the homeowner had something that was just completely ridiculous and out of this world. I've heard about these things. I've never seen one in real life. I'm not going to give away the surprise. You guys will have to see it in the next video. But appreciate you guys for taking time to watch. If you do me a huge solid, like, subscribe, share this video with your amigos. Hit that notification button so you can maybe see that crazy thing that I'm going to do tomorrow. And we'll see you guys next time.